Assalamu alaikum, everybody. So we at Act 3, Scene 5, but just a quick disclaimer. In the previous lesson plan, Scene 4, I made a errata. I said that on the Wednesday, instead of the Monday evening, Paris and Lord Caplet had the meeting and discussion about the wedding. I did pick this up before posting it, but when you put a little side note, a comment in the slide and then transfer it into a video, unfortunately it doesn't show the comments. So I just wanted you guys to be clear about that. The wedding arrangement was made the Monday evening, not the Wednesday. Okay, so on to scene 5. This is the last scene of Act 3. I hope you guys are not hearing that noise. Anyway, so the scene sets off at dawn on the Tuesday morning. Romeo and Juliet are exchanging their final goodbyes, and obviously they're both very, very sad before Romeo has to leave for Mantua. The lovebirds fears that the coming of the day would signify their separation by pretending it's still night, and that the bird that they are both hearing, the lark, normally it's very similar to the bird that we have in South Africa. I'm sure you've all heard about it. I think it's a guinea fowl. Makes that very loud, annoying sounds. So they hear this bird, they both hear it, but Juliet says no, he should not leave as it is still night, and what they're hearing is actually a nightingale. So this continues, and she wants him to stay because she obviously loves him and she doesn't be without him. He is a husband now. They have just consummated their marriage. And unfortunately, finally, he attempts the balcony. He goes down the balcony as he is aware, very much aware, that the day has come that he has to leave for Mantua as per the Prince Aeschylus's decree, his judgment. So once again, the dawn divides Romeo and Juliet. This time it is for good, as he is set to leave for Mantua. As the sun's rays, and it's stated in the line, lace the severing clouds, Juliet wishes that the sound of the morning lark were actually the call of the nightingale. So even though she protests and she tries to convince Romeo that he shouldn't leave because it's actually still night. As in our previous scenes, Romeo and Juliet's love flourishes in the dark. Remember the night of the ball? But daylight seems to bring separation and misfortune. Juliet says reluctantly, window, let day in and let life out. As Romeo descends down the balcony, Juliet is basically speaking to herself. She experienced a frightening vision, like a premonition, of Romeo. And it says, as one dead in the bottom of the tomb. So this image will prove to be true in the final scene when Julian awakens from a drug-induced sleep to find Romeo dead on the floor of the Capulet tomb. Once again, images of love and death intertwine, infecting the joy of the wedding night with the foreshadowing of their coming deaths. So at this point, the nurse rushes into the room to tell them that Lady Capulet is on her way. So once again, they are forced to separate. So as Romeo is finally gone and Juliet is more speaking to herself about her sadness, and she's in tears, Juliet's mother, Lady Caplet, arrives on the scene. And she is still under the impression that Juliet's tears that she's seeing and a sad expression is due to her cousin Tybalt's death, that the fact that she's still mourning him. So she tries to comfort Juliet, and in a way she seems a bit impatient that she's taking too long to mourn a family member's death. Juliet's mother tries to comfort Julian by informing her of their plans to have Romeo poisoned. She then continues by informing Juliet about her happy news that Juliet is to marry Prince Paris on Thursday. Juliet is obviously shocked. She has just gotten married a few days before. She has just consummated her marriage with Romeo, and now this. Juliet is obviously very shocked and angry, and she refuses. So Lady Caplet obviously is unaware that Juliet grieves for Romeo's banishment, Romeo's parting that just occurred, rather than the death of her cousin Tybalt. And as she tries to comfort her daughter with the plans to avenge Tybalt's death, poisoning Romeo, her demeanor, her speech is full of dramatic irony, since Lady Caplet's hope of poisoning Romeo is actually in which manner he actually dies, and by taking his own life. Although Romeo drinks the poison by his own hand, it is the hatred driven in part by Lady Caplet that gives him cause. That is one way of looking at it. So instead of the traditional loving maternal figure, Lady Caplet is very revengeful and cold, very unemotional. She, just like cousin Tybalt, is prepared to continue a feud without regard to the decree of Prince Aeschylus and the decree made about no violence in the city of Verona. So she's already planning an evil poisoning incident to kill off Romeo. She actually says she wishes the fool were married to her grave. Once again, the image of Juliet's grave as her wedding bed anticipates the lovers' tragic reunion in death. It is as if Lady Caplet, by her evil, vengeful, selfish focus on the family feud, condemns her own daughter to a fate. So here, guys, Juliet's interaction with both her mother and her father in this scene confirms the failure of parental love, parental unconditional love. Their sole concern is her social status, her future social status, and how this would benefit them in their social standing within Verona. So next, Lord Caplet comes onto the scene. He enters Juliet's bedroom, obviously expecting his daughter to be excited and over the moon about the Thursday wedding arrangements that he made on her behalf, as he sees the nurse and her mother is busy talking to her. When he realizes that Juliet is actually not happy, she tells him that she would not marry, she's not agreeing to it, she would not marry Paris. He sets off in a huge rage, and he demands that Juliet obey his decree, his decision, and prepare to the wedding at once. The nurse tries to comfort her, but she's bashed down by the dad with insults. So Juliet's father threatens to disown her if she continues to disobey his decision. Remember, the union between Paris and Juliet is extremely, extremely important to him. So with Lady and Lord Caplet leaving the scene, the nurse tries to comfort Juliet. She praises Paris, says that he's in any case a much better suitor for Juliet than Romeo is. In fact, she even refers to Romeo as a dishcloth. Juliet is very surprised and disappointed actually at the nurse's words. Remember, this woman has been like a mother to her. So she was probably hoping for continuous support during this insane time Juliet is busy going through. So she pretends to be persuaded by the nurse's advice and asks her to tell her mom that since she has upset her mother and her father so badly, she will go to confession at Friar Lawrence's cell. When the nurse leaves, she expresses her disappointment at what she sees as the nurse's betrayal. She's talking to herself. She says that if she cannot be with Romeo, and if the only choice is to marry Paris comes Thursday, she would rather opt to kill herself. And in the final meeting on the balcony between Romeo and Juliet, they actually have this fear of something horrible that is looming, that is about to happen. And this is a case of foreshadowing. That is what we call it. And in modern term, we could refer to it or see it as a premonition. Sometimes we get these premonitions of something bad that is about to happen. So guys, we have reached the end of Act 3. I hope it was interesting to you guys, and I hope you perhaps understand it a bit better. So we will then do, as you guys voted on the forum, well, just a teeny bit of you guys, we will do the quiz, the combined quiz of scenes 2 to 5. Friday, if not Friday, Monday, inshallah, when the system is a bit better. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.